memory. What year is it?
68 Chevelle 300 post car.
Were the seatbelts optional?
Yes.
When did seatbelts become mandatory?
Well, actually, no. I lied. 67 seatbelts were mandatory.
60 when?
67. The shoulder belts were optional. This car does not have them. But yeah, it's 67. You got a padded dash. You got dual master cylinder, which was before that. You probably like your car has a single, and a collapsible steering column, so that when you get an accident, it doesn't go through your chest.
Yeah.
This will collapse at some point. That was the fantastic new safety features for 1967.
And oh, that's all that far.
It's all
adjustable. Yeah, like an airplane seatbelt.
Pretty much. It probably does about as much too.
My car doesn't have side mirrors.
Yes.
When did the law say you have to have the side one, at least one?
I don't know. By this year, they all had this one. Okay. Even the other cars, I mean, I think until like the early 80s, you didn't have to have both of them.
Yeah. I have one to put on, and I will, because it is useful. And probably if you're in a town where the police don't know in 1960, you never had side mirrors. They were an option. They would probably say, wear your side mirrors. So I'll just
that's how like that 49 Chevy is.
Yeah, there's nothing.
And it didn't come with turn signals. It has them on it, but it doesn't have reverse lights.
Mine doesn't have reverse.
Try explain that to a cop that's younger. I mean, I'm not even that old, but younger than I am.
Yeah.
Your car didn't come with reverse lights or turn signals or anything.
Yeah.
Who knows what'll happen?
Right.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. I apologize to the internet now. This car hasn't been driven in many months. So if it backfires or stumbles, I blame it on the ethanol gas.
Ethanol gas. Car culture's punching bag.
Yep. So
with B&M shifters, you have just regular drive if you want it.
Yeah, it's in drive right now.
Yeah. It
goes down, you pull it up into ratchet.
Yeah.
And now it's in second, first, second, third. That was weird, man. Yeah, now I'm back in third again. Yeah, what it'll do is, the whole point of them is, if you're racing, you can't overshift it. It'll only it'll ratchet into the next gear, and that's it.
Right.
So then because if you're your drag race, you just slap it and go in the next gear. You don't have to worry about blasting it into neutral or reverse when you're going 90 miles an hour.
Right.
Oh, little stumble. There we go.
Is this for my legs?
Yep. You can open and close after the vent.
Close it. Mine in the Falcon, you have to go down and do it by hand. Such a luxury. I get a tumbler. Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, GM did that for a lot of years, even to the 80s. But normally, if the cars had air conditioning, then that would actually be blocked off. And
I remember seeing those big air conditioning condensers of huge things when they started putting them on.
Yeah, they didn't block them off well. Like that hole would still be there. They just put a little cap in where that little valve would go, and that would be it. Yeah.
What's this safety switch here?
I have that for my fuel pump.
Oh, okay.
Because it has an electric fuel pump in the back that really serves no purpose.
Was a console here optional, or did they ever?
In the SS's. Or maybe the Malibus, but they had 4 shift in order to get that. When I put the bench seat back in, I'm going to have to move the shifter, obviously.
Right. With the B&Ms, you said it's just cables. So
yeah, there's a cable that goes from this. It goes to a hole in the floor, and it's underneath the shifter.
Oh, okay.
And then you just loop it around, and it goes back to the transmission. Just pulls on the shift lever of the transmission.
Okay.
It's very easy. There's just an adjustment you have to do. Yep, glove box.
Mine is a weird, in the Falcon, mine's this weird push button, and then you got to get your fingernails underneath this and pull it open at the same time. It's so weird.
I obviously have the non-factory radio. It doesn't work. This is one of my pet peeves with plastic cars. When people bash the radio out.
Yeah.
For the you cut the shaft out, because now I can never put a factory radio back in ever again.
It sucks.
Man, I know that these.
I mean, like 90s, you had to have your CDs. If this went in here, like, Is this the one I hit the button, the faceplate comes off?
No, it's too old even for that.
What's this thing right here?
That's the whole plate. Yeah, I thought you meant the one where it tilts with the CD.
Oh,
that one, the whole placement does come off.
Yeah, will it break if I press it?
Nope. Yeah, but back in the day.
90s. Everybody steals radios. What would have gone here? Anything?
I don't think so. No. Oh, actually, I did the air conditioning.
Oh,
course, yeah.
right, yeah. Yeah, the air
and then it had little orb-shaped vents that would hang on the two lower ends of the dash. They put another piece of dash underneath that would go the whole span across. They had these two little just weird orb vents that would spin all around. But yeah, this would be like a center vent, I believe. You don't see many with air conditioning now.
No.
It wasn't quite that popular of an option.
Maybe you'd see them more on like Cadillacs or something when people were already spending that type of money.
Yeah, when you went up into the Buicks and the Oldsmobiles, like people don't really understand. Like back in like the 50s and 60s, like Buick and Oldsmobile were like almost up there with Cadillac.
Right.
Like now there's like, it seems like a bit separation where Buick's just like, oh, it's a fancier Chevrolet. There was a huge difference back in the days.
Like you see those old Buick, like the original Roadmasters. Yeah. That was pretty much a Cadillac. It was just Cadillac, you'd throw a bit more trim on it.
And I think it's more the fact that Cadillacs today, like people actually have, like back then, like Cadillacs were like untouchable.
Right.
You know, you saw someone with a Cadillac, it was like seeing someone with like a Bugatti or a Ferrari today. No one had them.
And you didn't even differentiate between the models. You just said he has a Cadillac. Oh! The whole car tilts a little bit to one side as it does that. Is that just the spinning of the...
Yeah, that's the torque of the motor twisting the suspension in the frame.
See, that alone is way more fun. I mean, I love Opie. I love the Audi R8, but an Audi R8 is controllable madness.
Yeah, there's a
muscle cars are just madness.
There's a big difference between muscle cars and a modern supercar. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you that a muscle car is faster than any supercar.
Right, because you know an Audi R8, this thing you would need like a pro street version to keep up with an Audi R8, and then it's just straight line.
There's a certain level of just sheer terror that comes in a muscle car.
Oh God, what's happening? Like right here, my seat's moving around. Yeah. This would move around. Then you hear the rattling because it's all metal moving against metal, like the body and stuff.
Yeah, like at half the horsepower, if you're in an old V8 car, it seems like you're going twice what that R8 is doing.
People don't give enough credit to. People are going to complain how like gum in my mouth this entire time. People are. There's speed and then there's sensation of speed, and sensation of speed is what makes mopeds so much fun. And that little Vespa, holy crap, I'm gonna die. I'm going 40. You know. It's the same. I know I don't want to do a callback to Jackass and CKY, but it's why getting pushed around in a shopping cart is as much fun as it is.
And this isn't even a powerful car. When I had it dynoed, it made 303 horsepower. So I mean, there's guys, you know, obviously that have these cars that have 500,000 horsepower.
Right. Well, when you look at those. Look at all that.
Junkyard.
Minivan. Oh, there's some modern stuff in there.
Yeah, it's all new stuff. It's not one you can go in, so it's not interesting to me. Yeah, downshift's the same way. Oh, and your normal automatic won't shift like that, by the way. This one has some things done to it to make it downshift like that. A lot of automatics will just kind of like freewheel to a point when you downshift.
Yeah.
They won't grab as quickly as hard as that. Just so people don't think they just like, oh, I put a shifter in my car, it's going to be shifting a manual now. It's not that easy.
No, but you have to have a shift kit with the transmission. You have to change.
Yeah, this has a valve body, clutches in it, all that stuff.
Right.
It's not all about the horsepower, it's how you can put it down too. Like the rear suspension's built in this car, the rear differential's built, the transmission's built. So it does a lot more than what another car with 300 horsepower would do.
Right, because then there's horsepower great, but then there's horsepower you can use.
Yeah, like I put this motor in this car right after high school, and I did what every person's going to do when there's like, I'm going to put a big motor in it and not change anything else, and the car was miserable. You'd press the gas, you'd almost die because one wheel would spin, the car would spin out. It's no fun. I recommend to people now, before they put a motor in, do the rear differential, do the transmission. You'll notice more of a difference than that than just having a big motor in that's just going to boil one tire off.
Right.
Smoke the tires.
Peg leg burnouts.
And not even it's just going to be one tire. You're going to look like a fool.
Yeah.
Everyone hates one tire burnouts.
People have been recommending for the Falcon. You said that did Eddie Bauer did they do? People have said the Eddie Bauer edition.
The
Explorer because it had a limited slip in there. Hey, MR2.
Yep, it's a nice one too. Fancy paint job.
Hey, it's still They said the Eddie Bauer. If you find an Eddie Bauer Explorer, you have a limited slip rear in the back. Although, yeah, your recommendation was the 88 or early 90s.
91, I think the Explorers came out till 95. I think were the squarey ones.
Okay, so they're not going to have a limited slip.
Yes, they will.
Oh, they will.
When we went to the junkyard to get the one for my friend's car, we literally walked in the top of the truck section of the junkyard. There was 5 of those Explorers lined up in a row. The first thing they walked in the junkyard.
Yeah.
3 out of the 5 were limited slip.
Okay.
And we just had our choice of gear ratios. We just spun the rears and saw which one was a gear ratio we wanted, and then we pulled it out.
Very nice.
So yeah, a lot of the Explorers are limited slip. I don't know the reasoning why, but the other reason is the Explorers have the 31 spline axles where cars only have 28, so they're stronger. It might not be as important to you because I don't think you're going to be blazing tires with this thing or anything.
No, it's going to be the aim of the Vagabond Falcon is to have it be a long distance cruiser. It's something that's going to go interstate. It would be great if the thing could be built reliable enough to go coast to coast.
Oh yeah.
I told Bruce Henn, if you want to do up the engine, great, but it only has to. I want it to take 87, just cheap gas.
Yeah.
Which is going to limit you. Oh boy.
Yep. Here.
Where do I want to grab?
Up.
That'll do.
It does do good burnouts, and now we're going to be asphyxiated.
They don't talk about this. When people do burnouts on TV, they always the guy gets out of the car, films the car from the outside. They don't really show you how much that stuff sticks around.
Oh yeah. And now you're going to hear all the rubber coming off in the next 15 seconds.